I'm ready. Should I start?
I'm ready. You remember the band coming in? Everybody ready?
Do you want me to say anything?
Oh, the band
Okay, great.
These aren't on. These aren't even on.
Give it up for the Beit Shuva choir.
And we're looking for more members. We're looking for more members.
That was beautiful. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I'm Rabbi Tova, grateful member of this community. Hi, Rabbi Tova. Great. you know the drill. So here's the question, or the questions, rather. Don't worry, I'm actually going to give you a chance to talk in a minute. I'm trying something new out. Here's the questions. Have you landed? Are you here? Are you grounded? Is it Shabbos yet? Is it Shabbat? I want to try an exercise with you. I decided that tonight, just for tonight, I'm going to be a little bit more me, a little bit more free. We'll see how it goes. You can tell me after and critique me after. Or tell Rabbi Joseph, and he'll critique me. He's good at that. We went to rabbinical school together, and we critique each other a lot. I'm going to invite you to put your feet on the ground. Don't worry, I'm not going to make you meditate, although I would love to at some point. But for right now, just put your feet on the ground if you can. And I want you to think about the first word or phrase or feeling that comes to your mind. I'm going to give you an example. It could be anxious. It could be hungry. It could be joyful. It could be grateful. It could be a person in your life, maybe, first came to your mind. I'm going to invite you to just take that in for a minute. It does not have to be a good thing. It's just what comes to your mind. That's what's the important thing. And I want you to share it with one or two people next to you. Just share your name and the word or phrase that came to your mind. Go for it. An invitation for you. So we're going to share our work with the band and people. Just so you know. Sorry, on the spot. I know. But you don't have to. It'll be opt-in, opt-out. Okay, great. We're going to come back. I know that we can schmooze all night long. You'll have time later. Okay. Let's come back for 1 second. I'm going to invite the people up here if they feel comfortable, the band, the folks that are leading us tonight that are pretty much the shepherders of this experience, the facilitators of this experience. I kind of want to have them bring in their phrase or their word that came in, if that's okay. So I'll start. Frazzled.
Overwhelmed.
Joyful.
It's cool. You get to opt in, opt out. All right. I want to share why I'm doing this, okay? Kabbalah Shabbat is the beginning. It's here to prepare us for Shabbat. We sing songs, we get ready. There's a lot of songs. They're here to bring us joy, to get us out of maybe the frazzled nature that I'm feeling for today. And here's the thing. I think there's a reason. I think we know that it's hard to land and it's hard to ground. I want to share another reason. There is this tradition. You might have learned it if you're a resident here. It's called Hit Bodadut. Has anyone heard that word before? Hit Bodadut. It's this phrase, this like one of those words, those Hebrew words. And here's what it was. Basically, you talk to God and you say exactly what's on your mind. I mean, exactly. You say, God, I'm angry right now. It's really hard for me to do all the things I need to do. Or I'm stuck in traffic and I don't understand why there's traffic. I'm talking, you say exactly what's on your heart. You're meant to do it like in nature, connective, but like we live in LA. So I think you can actually do it in your car, or you could do it in the shower, your own alone space. And I guarantee if you try it this week, maybe you will, maybe you won't, you will feel something. You might cry. It's hard. It's hard. I think collectively what we get to do here, what we just did here, what you just did with one another is kind of a collective Hit Bodadut, a collective crying out. So maybe the idea is if you get it out of you, there's a way for you to be present, feet on the ground, here for Shabbat. So let's bring it all in, wherever you are. It's welcomed. It's welcome tonight. We need that. We need that for Shabbat to be Shabbat. So we're going to begin with Shalom Aleichem, which is on page 7. Bring it. Yasher Koach Thea. Can we give Thea a little bit more love? You're doing great. Thank you. Are you ready to do Yadin Nefesh? Yeah. All right, let's keep going. Oh, that's a good question. Beautiful. That was on page 19. That didn't help you for the moment, but for next time. All right, we're about to do tzedakah and tshuva. I want to just highlight how special it is that we do tzedakah in this way. This isn't like the way most synagogues, is this a synagogue? Rebbe tshuva is like its own thing, right? But really, it's not the way. If you go to a Friday night service, people aren't just passing around a little can or a chest, right? There's something very powerful in that, because what is happening in that exchange is each person, no matter what, matters in what they give to the tzedakah project. And that really helps, because what we're doing here is saving lives, as all of us know, right? So whatever you can give, that would be beautiful. We're going to start tshuva, so if people want to start lining up over here, that would be wonderful. In the meantime, I just want to say how grateful I am to be here and to be alongside Thea and the rest of the crew up here. Really, we've come a long way, I think, you and I, so this is very, very special. She was my client a long time ago. So I'll get out of the way if people have tshuva.
I'm Thea. I'm a grateful member of this community. I just wanted to express my gratitude to the residents for all the friendships that I've made, for how hard you guys work for your recovery, and for everyone that's involved in the creative process with me. I love you guys. I love doing tourist study with you guys now. And I love doing this, so I love you all. That's all.
Hello, I'm Jade. I'm a grateful member of this community. I just wanted to get up here and thank Beit Teshuva and thank this community for the life that I have today. Like, I just got back from Freedom Song Tour, and although we had a unexpected gift from the universe, we got COVID, but the trip itself was really the first time that, like, I felt like a person in the last 9 months of my recovery. It's just such a special community, and the gifts are endless. But I realize that, like, I'm not just sober. I'm a person again. I'm living. I'm able to show up and not just take and take and take, which I've done for so long. I felt the last couple of weeks I was able to be a part of, and like I had something to give, not only to the people around me, but to the experience that I was involved in. And I wouldn't have that without the opportunity to be here, without the donors making it possible for me to be here. So I just wanted to, give my deepest gratitude to this entire community and to Beit Teshuva for giving me a life worth living today. And I've never had that, so thank you very much.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kathy. I'm a grateful member of this community. Hi. I just wanted to say happy birthday to Devin. 4 years. Wow. What a transformation. Beautiful. I just want you to know I'm really proud of you, and I'm happy to call you my friend. Happy birthday.
Dang alcoholic and grateful member of this community. I'm actually struggling and like not feeling super grateful, but no one's standing up, so I thought I'd get some gratitude. I'm grateful for Beit Teshuva. I've made some of my like best friends here that I'll probably have for the rest of my life. And I've learned so much about myself, so I appreciate everyone. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Cody, and I'm a grateful member of this community. Miles, always Miles with that. I love it, thank you, I love you too. So I really want to express gratitude for my friend Leo who's here tonight. He's been an incredible friend for me the last few years. He inspires me profusively and motivates me to like keep doing what I'm doing, and just one of the wisest people I know. It's a blessing to have you in my life and that you're here, and thank you for that. Also, I wanted to thank the Freedom Song people because we had so much fun even through something kind of like, well, for me it was gnarly, the whole trip. And Nanette is here tonight, and big shout out to Nanette, I love her. Everyone knows Nanette. Give Nanette a round of applause. Come on. I was telling her how much Freedom Song has changed my life. Like it really, I felt so inspired coming back from that. And it's not like, it's kind of a plug for Freedom Song, but like following through with that has been a big highlight of my sobriety. And I really encourage people to try it. And I think that's it. Thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Johnny. I'm a grateful member of this community. I'm grateful for a lot. I'm grateful to see old faces in this crowd. They're young, but they're old faces. Um, Really, what I wanted to come up and say is when I got here, I couldn't shake the feeling like I was the outside man, which is usually not the case. Like, I feel like I integrate well, and I felt very alone in a room full of people when I got here. And I don't know if it's me, which I'm sure part of it is, but the house has just had like a really nice turnaround, progression over the past few weeks. And I really like have many handfuls worth of people around me that I can reach out to, that I feel supported by, that I can talk to. And I just like, I'm grateful for many of, if not all of you out there. You make me feel at home more and more by the day here. I also just want to say, if I was a therapist or a counselor here and I had the caseload that they have, my head would be spun. So I'm just like, I'm really grateful for the attentiveness of the therapists and how much they really like devote their time and their mind to the sessions and what they sit, listen, talk to, and go through with us. So thank you.
Shabbat Shalom, I'm Kevin. I'm a grateful member of the community. Yeah, I came up to give gratitude for my father. My dad turns 80 tomorrow, and we've had, saying we've had an estranged relationship for 30 years would be a mild understatement. And I love my father, and he's been there for me over the past 6 months, and I actually feel like I have a father, and I didn't know what that felt like, and it feels good, and I'm grateful that he is in my life again, and I am also grateful to get to watch Wolf play guitar on Friday night services, because that brings a smile to my face. So, Shabbat Shalom, thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Rachel. I'm a grateful member of this community and an alcoholic. And I just wanted to I'm just grateful and so thankful to Beit Teshuva and Lisa and Russell and just everybody for my chance to be here. And I'm getting a lot closer now with my family, my mom, my nephews, my sisters, and that couldn't have happened if I wasn't sober and in somewhere that's going to it's going to be a long time. Like, I can't just be in recovery, in a rehab for 30 days or 60 days or 90 days. That didn't work for me, so I'm really happy that I got to come here, and I feel like I'm growing up, you know, like I have over 100 days now. I'm driving my car, and you know, I'm doing responsible things, but I still have to be here, and I have a job interview on Saturday afternoon. So it's just things are falling into place because I feel like I'm doing the work. So thank you.
Hi, I'm Jay, compulsive overeater and grateful member of this community. Hi, everyone. I am here on behalf of Jerry and my husband, Bob. We want to wish Devin a very, very happy birthday. He's just a lovely, talented, kind, amazing young man. It's been so wonderful to watch him grow up here. Thank you.
It's always so beautiful. I think we have someone on Zoom that has gratitude or tshuva. Beautiful. That's why we come, right? So thank you. Thank you for all the shares and for all the listening, the active listening that we're doing. We're going to continue with the service. We're going to do Mizmor Shir, which is a favorite, and it makes me particularly happy. It's on page 13. It makes me really happy that Russell's here for Mizmor Shir. Just a little bit. And I'm just going to encourage everyone to stand up, to dance it out. It's a Beit Tshuva classic. Mizmor Shir.
1, 2, 1, 2.
מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות אדוני, וזמר לשמך עליון, וזמר לשמך עליון. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות אדוני, וזמר לשמך עליון, וזמר לשמך עליון. להגיד בבוקר חסדך, באמונתך בלילות, עלי יעזור ועלי נאמר, ועלי היגיון בקינו. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, וזמר לשמך עליון, וזמר לשמך עליון. להגיד בבוקר חסדך, באמונתך בלילות, עלי יעזור ועלי נאמר, ועלי היגיון בקינו. 1, 2, 3, 4. וזמר לשמך עליון, וזמר לשמך עליון.
Rock concert, Shabbat service, potato, potato. It's basically how it feels when you're here. Amazing. So good. Okay. We are going to bring up our newest community members and residents, and also our birthday, Devin, who's going to kind of help us out here. So come on up, Chelsea, Marissa, Alfred, Dina, Travis. Come on up.
What do I do again? Oh my God, it's been so long. Hey.
On the TV.
Yeah.
So on the TV, but I have it here. So.
Yeah. What do we have?
We're gonna introduce each one of them. You're gonna be welcomed in individually.
Okay.
And what we're gonna do is we are gonna say this. And yes. Oh, we're ready. Okay. So we're gonna start with that, Devin.
Yeah.
Okay.
May the doors of this house be wide enough to receive all who hunger for love, all who are lonely for fellowship. May it welcome all who have cares to unburden, thanks to express, hopes to nurture. May the door of this house be narrow enough to shut out pettiness and pride, envy and enmity.
May its threshold be no stumbling block to young or straying feet.
May it be too high to admit complacency, selfishness, and harshness.
May this house be for all who enter the doorway to a richer and more meaningful life. Amen. Amen. So we're now going to each welcome each of you. If you want to say your name, you can.
Okay. Alfred.
Welcome, Alfred.
Hi, Alfred.
Hi, Alfred. Okay. Baruch haba b'shem Adonai. May you who have come be blessed in the name of the source of life.
Melech, Beor, Beshem, Adonai.
Let us walk together in the light of the Divine One. Welcome. You can stand right there. We have more for you. All right. What's your name? If you want to share.
Marissa.
Marissa.
Hey.
Baruch haba b'shem Adonai. May you who have come be blessed in the name of the source of life.
Melech, Beor, Beshem, Adonai.
Let us walk together in the light of the Divine One. Welcome. All right, what's your name?
Travis.
Travis. Baruch haba b'shem Adonai. May you who have come be blessed in the name of the source of life.
Melech, Beor, Beshem, Adonai.
Let us walk together in the light of the Divine One. Welcome. All right. What's your name?
Chelsea.
Hi, Chelsea. Baruch haba b'shem Adonai. May you who have come be blessed in the name of the source of life.
Melech, Beor, Beshem, Adonai.
Let us walk together in the light of the Divine One. Welcome. All right. Hello. Welcome.
Hi, I'm Dina.
Dina. Baruch haba b'shem Adonai. May you who have come be blessed in the name of the source of life.
Melech, Beor, Beshem, Adonai.
Let us walk together in the light of the Divine One. Welcome. And when it gets hard, because it surely will, when you want to give up, because you surely will want to, when you are really, really exhausted and you just want to just quit, we beg you, we ask you, we expect you, we hope that you continue to hold on. Welcome. We have gifts for you, too. Nice to meet you all. You can sit down if you want. Did I miss anything to you?
Run. No, after you.
Be careful. Getting better at it each time. Guys, I mess up every time, but it's better each time. Okay, Lecha Dodi. My gosh, such a good one, right? I want to just invite you. You said a word in the beginning of tonight. It might be the same word. It might be a different word, but sort of notice, is it the same word? Has it changed at all? Because right about now, is exactly the time when the rabbis, when they created this, they had the idea that you were sort of grounded. You sort of landed. So here we go. Lecha Dodi on page 27.
Tiferet, Be'eliti יעשה במחשבה תהילה לכדורי לי רקלה פני שבת מקבילה התעוררי כי באורק קומי אורי שיטה כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה Everybody, please rise and face the doorway to welcome in the Shabbos bride. בואי חלה לכדורי לי רקלה פני שבת מקבילה לכדורי לי רקלה פני שבת מקבילה
Amazing. I'm going to invite Devin to come up as our birthday to light the candles, if you feel ready to do that. I want to just say one of my favorite parts of Shabbat is this idea called oneg Shabbat. Has anyone heard that word, oneg, to delight? So one of the ways that we delight in Shabbat is we light these candles, right? And they serve a purpose, obviously light. We want to bring in light. We need more light, all the things. We want to create sacred space in this moment. But you can come and see the candles like, 10 minutes after services, and they're going to be there flickering. That's called oneg. That's called delight. You get to delight in that. It's there for you. So I'm going to invite you to come back later to look at the candles.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lechadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. I think it's so appropriate that the next part of our service is going to be Misha Berach, which is the prayer that we say for those who are in healing, those who are in need of healing. There is a tradition. It's in pretty much every religion, mystical tradition, that light can sometimes be healing. It's like a very basic concept, right? Like that a flicker of light, right, can be healing. And so I invite us to really channel those people in our lives that need healing, which I know all of us need healing, but I'm sure we have dear ones in our lives that really do, in mind, body, and spirit. And I invite you to just bring in that light that we just lit, that Devin just lit for us, and we bring that in to the prayer of Misha Berach.
Sarah, Rivka, Rachel,
let's just continue with Baruch Hu on page 29. We're going to rise, entering into the praise the Lord moment. Seated. I'm going to invite Sam H, to come on up and help us out.
Hi, I'm Samantha. I'm a grateful member of this community. Hi. So I'm going to tell you a story. It's about my experience with the Shema. Some of you have heard this, so thank you for listening again to those who have, but here's the backstory. Despite the fact that I look like a total shiksa, I grew up Jewish, going to a Hebrew day school here in Los Angeles from kindergarten into high school. I was close with my great-grandparents, Izzy and Pearl, who were Orthodox. I could read and speak Hebrew, I was bat mitzvahed, and although some of it felt like an obligation or just going through the motions, I had somewhat of a teenage spiritual experience at that time. But my great-grandparents passed away. I left Los Angeles to pursue a higher education, leaving with it the Jewish community that I had been connected with. As I went through college and my addiction started to really kick off, any connection to my Judaism became a frayed memory as the rest of my life unraveled. Fast forward to my 26th birthday. My mother was desperate to have me take my birthright trip to Israel before the age cutoff snuck up on me. But barely even able to keep my life together, there was no way I could activate the executive functioning part of my brain required to gather a passport, fill out forms, and travel to another country. So she signed me up. And lo and behold, I ended up on the sober birthright trip with none other than Beit Teshuvah. We ended up, of course, as a group at the Western Wall. Here's where it happened for me. I stood at the mouth of the wall, weaving my way amongst the sea of people, watching and taking it all in. There were mothers with their daughters, fathers with their sons, a girl becoming bat mitzvahed. There were soldiers, some of the most beautiful women I've ever seen to this day, dancing and praying in a circle, in full uniform with assault rifles strapped across their chests. I made my way further in. I took out some of the prayers the few people had sent me with to place in the cracks of the wall, cracks bulging with prayers. I placed my hands on the wall. The warmth was overwhelming, like nothing I'd ever experienced in my life simply from touching an inanimate object, for sure. I could sense this sort of ancient emotion and existence, the city's veins rushing awareness of the vastness of the infinite, mostly the connectedness through my hands and into my being. It was like the wall was alive, and it was to me in that moment, surging energy into and through me, and immediately, without thought or reason, I began to weep. And of all the places I've been, all the people I've seen, the collection of thoughts and moments that make up my life, the only words that could somehow find their way from my brain to my lips, the only words that mattered in that moment was the Shema. I kept repeating it over again and again and again as tears streamed down my face. And I understood it. Finally, we are one. God and me and you and God, him and her, they and them. The oneness had me feeling some type of way. Over time, I've learned how to lean into that feeling, how to access that love and awareness when I need it, and the peace that comes with it, knowing that it's there anytime. So, I ask you now if you're willing to close your eyes and imagine something or someone, anything that brings you that gush of warmth into your spirit and soul, that place where our failures and our triumphs, our sorrows and joys all flow into one sweet river and star-splattered sky of oneness, the place where everything and everyone who ever has existed or ever will resides. As we say together, the Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha, ve'hayu Hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom alevavecha v'shinatam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shiftecha b'veitecha uvlechtecha v'terech uvshofbecha uvkumecha ushartam leot aliadecha Ve'hayu letotafot b'neinecha uchtaftam amezuzot beitecha uvisharecha.
That was beautiful, Sam. I think we're on the same wavelength. I'm going to talk a little bit about something similar. So it's like maybe that oneness, you know, it just sort of connected us, I don't know, somewhere, somehow. Another speech. Are you ready? Great. Okay. I grew up in the sphere of two worlds. This is like a personal one, so I'm going to share it. On one side, my dad's side, I had my Bubby and Zaidi of blessed memory, who were Holocaust survivors. And they come from like a very old world, that they carried with them in this world. It was a world of Hasidic, ultra-Orthodox black hats, a world where I stem from a bunch of rabbis, rebbes as they call them. And on the other side, I come from my mom's side. My papa and granny of blessed memory, they both come from generations of a different kind of religion, Southerners. It's like a particular kind of religion, I'm just going to say that. But I have thoughts about it another time. But for right now, my mom left for a reason. Anyway, they were Southern Methodists going back to the beginning. In fact, we could trace back my lineage to Southern Methodist ministers for a really long time, like back to the Mayflower. It's kind of cool. So my parents meeting and falling in love was not exactly part of either of their parents' dreams. I don't think it was even in the realm of possibility nor imagination. It was quite impossible. My mom proudly converted and lovingly converted to Judaism, and my dad found a Judaism that he didn't recognize from his childhood, a joyful Judaism that they found together, one that we can experience here at Beit Tshuva, a similar kind. I'm so grateful they found one another. I'm so grateful that they discovered this kind of Judaism. I wish I could tell you, though, that my grandparents became best friends, that we sat around the fire, there was kumbaya. I mean, I think we all wish that, right? Especially as we head into Thanksgiving. That wasn't the case, though. Although I do think that over the many years of them knowing one another at a distance and feeling connected to us as grandchildren made them see one another more as human, more relatable, something that I could have not imagined before my parents met and fell in love. I imagine that's something to be grateful for. You could see the theme of gratitude right now. I do think, though, that these two worldviews, these worlds, shaped me. And perhaps more importantly, the navigation between these worlds as a child and the multiple truths that I saw for each person invited me in to deep questions from a young age. These questions are not always welcomed in every scenario, I've learned, but nonetheless, they tug at my heart and they inform who I am. The main question, the crux of the question that I've asked my whole life is, are we not all more connected than not? Aren't we one? Thanks, Sam. I remember vividly, after all, being a 3-year-old at my great-grandmother's house. We called her Mama King. And she shared, hey, we ought to say grace before eating. I then, because this is who I was and who I am, no apologies anymore, belted out the motzi. You know it. We give thanks to God for bread. You know it? Our voices join in happy chorus as our prayer is humbly said. And I did the Hebrew part. She looked at me, she smiled, and she said, amen, let's eat. And I also remember, I just remember that feeling. It was amazing. And I also remember as a 3-year-old, that same age, feeling those tassels, those fringes of tzitzit on my Zaidi's prayer shawl at this teeny tiny shtibel. Smelled like a very old library. It was all men and me with my white tights and my Mary Jane patent leather shoes, davening, praying. And I remember they had tears in their eyes, and I remember there was God there. I didn't know the word for it, but I felt it. I could sense the warmth, the wonder, the wholeness in both of these scenarios, sensing that, yes, I belong. I belong to both traditions. I could share a lot of more memories with you, but, that will be a long time and for another time. I think what the takeaway was is they were all trying to find ways to connect, finding ways to do the right thing, finding ways to be human in a world that is quite perplexing at best, just like we're doing here. In the current political, religious, social, cultural landscape, it feels less possible to enter into each other's worlds. I know this because I'm on TikTok. And while this is not a Dvar Torah on social media and its ramifications, I could do that if you'd like to, I do have thoughts on how this world is quite divisive. In any case, I was recently going to go to a health practitioner. It was earlier this week, and a friend texted me, and she said, did you know that he's not one of us? I said, what do you mean? And she said, I think that he's on the other side. I was like, what other side? Which one is she talking about? But I kind of understood what she meant. What she meant was this person was not exactly part of our particular progressive Jewish bubble that I'm in, that I dwell in. And here's where my upbringing may make me, slightly different than a lot of my friends or strange in my personal world. But my internal response is not like, oh, I shouldn't see him. It's like, oh, interesting. I want to meet him. What does this guy have to teach me that I don't already know? I must admit, I feel slightly othered or different about feeling this way in today's climate because I think what our world is asking us to do is to double down on the values within the sphere that we belong to. And if the values are not aligned then the person in front of us is really no longer relevant. I mean, I kind of get it, but this must be like the least Jewish idea there ever was. I mean, after all, we come from a rabbinic revolution, one in which there were literally two schools originally. You might have heard of them, the house of Shammai and the house of Hillel. They taught interpretations of the Torah completely differently. And the Talmud says this, literally, the bat kol, which is like my favorite word for divine, it's the divine little voice that whispered. Both of these schools have divine on their side. Both of them have God on their side. And after them came many, many rabbis, also in conversation with one another, with discourse, different values, different opinions, but with the purpose of keeping the minority and the majority opinion in. We come from a world of discourse. And so this week in this Torah portion, I was really moved. You know, I read the Torah every year. Jewish nerd, rabbi, love it. It's amazing that each year I learn something new. And this year, I had never seen it before. But when I was studying, I saw something. So we all know maybe that Abraham, or maybe we don't all know. I'll tell you, Abraham had a wife. Her name was Sarah, right? They had a son named Isaac, right? We got that. Many of us might know that Abraham had another person that he had a baby with, right? Hagar, right? She was the maidservant of Sarah. And that child was Ishmael that they had. Ishmael eventually becomes the father of Islam. Beautiful. I think a lot of us got that. If you don't, I'm happy to talk about it after the service. But here's where I might shock you, or I shocked myself when I learned that when Sarah dies this week, which is what happens, and Hagar was banished, which happened last week, Abraham has a third wife. Her name, Keturah. It's a cool name. It means incense. And while there's not really much written about her, we know that they have 6 children together. So that's not like a quick little fling, right? 6 children. That's a lifetime. I have 2 children. I've been married for 10 years, right? It's a lifetime. Hope he's not watching. Anyway, which is to say, it was partnership. There was love. Something. The Torah can be interesting like this. We have these like minor characters that are barely mentioned, get so little information. But here's where we come in. We get to imagine. We get to imagine who was Keturah? Who are these 6 children? Abraham had a whole life after his beloved Sarah passed. What's more is the text says something so strange that the commentators for generations have so many opinions about. It says that Abraham gave these sons gifts and sent them to the land of the east. What does that mean? There are debates. The general view, I'm going to tell you the mainstream view of what they say. These children were connected to Ishmael, and they assimilated with other nations in the Bible. That's like the mainstream view. But the part of me, the one who was named slightly heretical in rabbinical school, and who seems to look at things a little differently, wants to know more of the other. I want to explore them. The first question has to be, what are these gifts? Some commentators commented that they were gifts of black magic, sorcery. They weren't good for the Jews, which is why Abraham sent them away. That's what Rashi says. And there are a few who view these gifts as I see them, and I invite you to see them too, which are actual gifts, not from any black magical place, which I hate that word, by the way, but they were the gifts of meditation, a gift of a particular divine connection, a formula of spiritual wisdom. I see them as such because how could Abraham give his children some weird energetic gift? He gave them good gifts. Abraham, according to our tradition, was deeply connected to divine. Even before he engaged on his monotheistic quest of one godness, even before he heard that call out, Abraham had connection to all of it. And so the 3-year-old me right here wants to hear that this is why these sons were ultimately sent eastward. They were sent towards nations and building nations that would one day create beautiful, rich religions and traditions. Think of those Eastern traditions and religions, movements, powerful, that they on their own are powerful and potent. And think of how they influence us today, mindfulness and all. Because after all, again, thank you, Sam, we are all one. Of course, I recognize that this narrative that I'm telling you is from my very white, Jewish-centric perspective. I'm naming it, it's true. But I'm speaking right now, so I'll speak from the I. Religions of the East, like Buddhism, Hinduism, are powerful on their own. They don't need to be connected to Abraham. They don't need to, and they quite possibly and probably aren't. And yet somehow the child in me, which is what's speaking tonight, the one that saw my families as separate yet together, as praying differently yet the same, as one, sees that somehow the connection of all of us to a time before we were separated by religion or anything else, as potentially the most powerful, beautiful thing that there ever was on this planet or ever will be. And that we're just trying to get back to that. We're getting back to that here every single week together. There is beauty through seeing things through a particular religion, culture, political sphere. There is comfort in the camaraderie in this way of living. It feels good to root for a team. We're wired to do this. I'm wired to do this. Let me be clear, I love Judaism as its own team, and I'm blessed to be part of it and to lead it. Yet I think that maybe the moment for right now, the moment in our world, which is chaotic, as chaos can be, in a moment right before Thanksgiving when we gather, break bread, maybe with some gratitude, perhaps with others that are different from us and on different teams, we can listen to that whisper that we know is true, that both are right, and that yes, as the Shema says, Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad, we are one. We are more connected than not. The spiritual wisdom is who we are. It is even in this complicated and beautiful wisdom text, this Torah, somehow buried, hidden, here for us to take in this moment right now is our birthright. And honestly, I believe this Torah that I'm sharing right now is the essence of Beit Tshuva. The 3-year-old me, the one with those Mary Janes, is delighted to share it with you. All of us here doing our inner child work, healing every single day, one day at a time, here is to feeling the oneness, the glimmers and sparks of it. It's present right now. It's here for us. It's here for you. Shabbat Shalom. I knew her when. Beautiful. All right, it's time to do the birthday thing. You ready? All right, come on up.
Get up and speak, babe.
All right. Hey, Devin, alcoholic, addict, grateful member of this community. It's been a while since I've been here. COVID, and shut down. I got out right before COVID, and man, just walking into this space was really kind of emotional for me. I had moments of just being up here, seeing everybody, and the people that I know, and just getting a little teary-eyed, and I'm thinking, well, that's not me. So grateful to be here. So grateful to have been a resident here. Welcome to everybody who came back, Dina, everybody else. You guys are in such a great spot. I don't know if you know it. My journey where I was 4 years ago was I had spent 6 months in a Christian discipleship program, Pray Away the Gay, that was pretty much like a prison where I didn't have a cell phone for over 6 months. I was only allowed to make supervised phone calls to places, and that was as a result of me having psychosis from drugs and alcohol and burning my life to the ground to the point that I thought that was a great place for me to go. And I went there voluntarily with my family because they didn't know what to do with me. And, and I was just so beyond helpless. And I was praying. It got me in touch with a higher power. And I prayed and I left when I did. And I just left in the middle of the rain because I had no other option and I didn't know what to do. I made a phone call for somebody that I knew, and they helped me get to a place and where I was just couch surfing, and I was in New York back east, and I called my talent manager who I hadn't spoken to for pretty much 6 months, and I said, hey, Jerry, I need to get a place somewhere back in LA that's hopefully Jewish, has something to do with music, and, and can take me in on scholarship. And he found this place that has existed. And all of those things happened where I got in on scholarship. So thank you to the donors and the people who let this little Christian kid in, who had nothing to do with you guys. I mean, the generosity of this community is overwhelming. And then what happened from there was I showed up and I got to learn what it was to be me again. I got accepted into a community, all the people here, and a lot of people who aren't here, if they've died or if they've just moved on, because that's what happened. Things change as we get sober. We get to see people, places, and change. They come and go, and we get the material things. It leaves, and we get to, thank you, I acknowledge that. Just keep coming back. My life looks so different from what it was when I got here. I have a car, I have an apartment, I can pay my bills. My credit score is going up like a lot more than it used to be. I have friends, I have community, I have a sponsor, I have a sponsee. I get to show somebody everything that was given to me so freely here. And I'm just so grateful to be here. And I just hope you guys all stay and keep coming back, because it really gets better when you just show up and do the work. And everything that we get here, we get to give away, and that's the beauty of what we learn here. So just thank you so much for my life back. Thank you to everybody who's been a part of that journey. It just means the world to me, and thank you.
Everyone here for him, gather around.
Happy birthday
keep coming back sober. Before we go to the next one, I found this quote today and I thought it was really beautiful, so I'm just going to share it and then it'll lead us into Oseh Shalom. This is by Rav Adin Steinsaltz, who we're actually all kind of connected to because he trained Jonathan Omerman, who then trained Rabbi Mark, who then trained people. You know, like it's just like all connected. So we're connected to this quote, in case you don't think it. The surrender of oneself on the Sabbath is not simply a matter of no activity, but of opening oneself up to the influence of the higher worlds and receiving the strength for the days and the week that follow. So let's take in that strength with Oseh Shalom.
Oseh Shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Oseh Shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Oseh Shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, v'yachnu Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, v'yachnu Yisrael. Oseh Shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Oseh Shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Oseh Shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, v'yachnu Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, v'yachnu Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, v'yachnu Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, v'al kol
I invite everyone to rise for Aleinu on page 62.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הרצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. אנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר בחיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יחיה אדוני אחד.
for those who are in a year of mourning or mourning the yahrzeit of someone, I invite you to continue to rise. For everyone else, you can sit. We want to share a special condolence to the Keene family and friends on the loss of Myron Keene. And I'm going to read the list of names. Rabbi Mark Blumenthal, Martin Rips, Nick Huff, Ermile Simon Pearl, David Heller, Nico Jacob Esformes, Zinada Zarkuran, Aharon Ben Yehuda, Dr. Saul Block, Mandy Menahim, Adam Arons, William Lurie, Judy Burke, Norman Scharf, Fred Rothschild, Mark Kessler, Henry Hank Schrimmer, Joyce Powell, Enosi Blumerkratz, Stephen Grossman, Leon Perrick, Robert Gorchi, Gary Mintz, Marilyn Buckley, Estelle Carlton, Patricia Blumenkratz, Jessica Bayer, Matt Pollinger, Orion Brown, Carlos Quintana Rios, Linus Stern, Lucy Franco, David Gallardo Sr., Bernard J. Alpern, John Baker, Hunter Venturielli, Fina Tisraelina, Lieutenant Mark Fleischman, Dr. Vinay Sudaram, Eleanor Gassare, Zev Ben Shmuel Yaakov, Erwin Belsky, Clayton Leon Cochran, Melvin Nimoy, Simcha Farkas, Laura Avina, Leslie Barnett, Phyllis Siegel, Dennis Sherman, Boris Katrik. If there's any other name, there's more names, I'm sorry. In memory of Burden Sobel Klein, Eugene Osher, Louis Warshaw, Richard Lewinter, Charles Gelfand, Sylvia Barenfeld, Judith Fishman, Sherry Breslau Fishman, Marker Bergman, Ruth Dean Donor, Maurice Weiss, Sidney Sherman, Sylvia Kalig, Vannie Gershman, Harold Gorowitz, Roy Laskowski, Scott Harrison, Aaron Tapp, Brian Jordan Wolf. If there's any other name that I'm missing, please bring it into the room and we will do the Kaddish together. Thank you. It gadal ve'it kadash shemei rabbah. Be'alma divra chirutei ve'amlich malchutei. V'chayachon uvyomechon uvchayei zechol beit Yisrael. Ba'agala uvizman kari v'imru amen. Yehe shmei rabbah mevarach le'olam omei amaya. It barach v'ishtabach v'it pa'ar v'itramam v'itnaseh. V'itadar v'itale v'italal shemei dekudasha brichu. Le'elam mikol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata. Za'amiran b'alma v'imru amen. Hey shlama rabba min shamaya. V'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May their memories continue to be a blessing and a source of inspiration and hope for all of us. And let us all say, Amen. I've got announcements. There used to be like a dance around announcements when I interned here a really long time ago. Does anyone remember that? Too old. Yeah, right? There was something. I can't remember what it was, like a thing. Yeah, it was a thing. We made it a thing. Okay. Well, first and foremost, happy 4 years, Devin. We're so happy you're here and so happy to hear your inspirational story. Secondly, welcome to the people that are new. Really, welcome. Clap for them. It is not easy to be new. It is not easy to sit here tonight. It really isn't. So we're really happy you're here. All right. Running for Recovery. Our marathon training season has started, and we are going to be meeting Sunday, 7 a.m. at Beit Shuvah. If you would like to support us, there is a fundraising link on the chat with a QR code, which is online. please see Sarah right there or Armando. All right there. Okay, see one of them to, sign up, to give money to it, do the thing. I remember running the marathon, not with Beit Tshuva, but I remember seeing Beit Tshuvas. Before I knew Beit Tshuva, I remember seeing Beit Tshuva and seeing the camaraderie and experience. It's really cool. Highly recommend. All right. Plus, if you do a marathon, you can do anything. It's actually true. I'm not kidding. I was in labor with my children, and I was like, I did a marathon. I could do it. I'll get through this somehow, some way. Okay, Thanksgiving. We are not going to be holding services next week. That being said, of course, we're going to have stuff for the residents. So don't worry about that. But just so you know, for community members, Friday night, Saturday, please don't show up because there won't be something for you here. Sorry. Silent meditation retreat. Tired of the screens? Tired of the chaos? Yes. Tired of the noise? Yes. So you should come here, 12/18 on December 18th for a silent meditation retreat. It's going to be the break that you need in life, and it's hosted by Rabbi Sheila Weinberg and Shira Abramowitz from Or Haletz. Click on the chat or call Sarah right over there for any more information. There will be no puppy group on November 24th, which is Thanksgiving. There is a really cool new project happening here, Beit Tshuva. I don't know, can you all see it over here? It's called the Tree of Life, and it's on this wall. And if you would like to buy a leaf to put a name and our message, commemoration, the cost of one is $72. Please call or email Barbara Friedman or Sarah Jacobs. Sarah, you're going to be busy. Everyone's going to contact you this week on all the things. Am I missing any announcement? I tend to miss them. I got them all? Okay, amazing. We're done. Oh, thank you. Thank you. It's been really fun to be here twice this month. I'm so grateful to be back. Laura, we're going to do May the Words, huh? Yeah? Cool. Wait, hold on. Can we just give this particular group of musicians and leaders in music, it's really such a gift, truly, to have such incredible, skillful musicians with heart and soul that are part of this community. So really, beautiful, beautiful.
All right, sounds good. The words of my mouth, the meditations of my heart be acceptable, oh Lord, my rock and my redeemer. May the words of my mouth, the meditations of my heart be acceptable, oh Lord. Of my mouth, the meditations of my heart, may the words of my mouth be acceptable. Oh Lord, may the words of my mouth, the meditations of my heart be acceptable. Words of my mouth, the meditations of my heart, may the words of my mouth be acceptable, oh Lord,
right, we're ready for Kiddush and Motzi. Thea just doing it all tonight.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Good Shabbos, everybody.